Hello and welcome back to episode 22 of our challenge to bring KoRail all the way to the Tour de France. By the time that this episode is uploaded, it's past Christmas, so happy Christmas to everyone, and I hope you have a fantastic new year coming up. Hope to have a little Christmas present here for you with a shorter episode, but still fun races, starting off here with the Tour of Zeklerland. 4 stage races, all considered flat, but the fourth one has some hilly stages there. They all have some hills in there, so that should be exciting. And we're continuing our tour here in Romania with the Cupa Max Ausnit, also with quite a hilly stage that is classified as flat, hoping to score some points here, however, with our hilly sprinters. We do relatively well here in these races, so hoping to do the same thing here. Traveling then all the way to Mauritius for a hilly stage, which is the bane of our existence last year. 0 points, I think. We did very poorly. Hoping to do better this year, at least with our riders. We do have a better team, so I hope so. And last but certainly not least, it is the Trans-Himalaya cycling race. A race across the Himalayas. Why is it so flat? Who knows? 3 races, rather short races as well. So nothing too spectacular, but all 3 of them should be quite fun. Starting off here with the first stage of the Tour of Zeklerland, a time trial stage here for us. And you know how good we are in time trials, it is always a question on how we will do. A very flat and relatively short stage, however, so we should do pretty okay, I would say. And obviously, I will take you again around the course here with one of our riders. Again, it is a 6.3 kilometer race here. Going around the course here with our time trial champion. It is Fitzke, not the time trial champion of Germany, but the time trial champion of our team, which is way more, I would say, prolific than any time trial title that you can get. Either way, a big up here in the middle of this time trial section, so I want to exert a lot of energy here to get up this hill as quickly as possible, and then obviously a downhill section afterwards, which means that I can recover some energy here and make sure that I don't have to pedal as hard, but still have a pretty good speed. Going towards the end now, again, a rather flat section, slightly up, slightly down, so giving it his all towards the finish line. A first place here at the moment for Paul Fitzke. Incredible job here for him. Does he win it as well? Yes, he does. 7 seconds on the number 2 in the end. So a victory here in the first stage of the Tour of Zeklerland. A victory here in the time trial. A great job here by Paul Fitzke. Still 3 stages to go, however, so you never know where we will end up. But it's a good first basis, or good start, I should say, my apologies. A good start here of this 4-day stage tour. The rest of our team also doing pretty well here, to be honest. Heo, obviously not the best time trialist, but Christoph Kroll, Paul Fitzke's main competitor here in a 12th position, 35 seconds behind Paul Fitzke. Maybe he will be able to come back here in this tour. There are 3 flat stages, or well, 3 sprinting finishes, I should say, in this tour. That means that Kroll Christoph needs to be up front, needs to sprint, and he should eke out at the finish line in those sprints. Can he do it? Can he beat Paul Fitzke in these stages? We'll have to find out. For now, Paul Fitzke being the number 1 here in the Tour of Zeklerland. Winner of the first stage of this tour, winner of the time trial. Obviously first in the young riders classification, and we are 3rd in the team classification, hoping to go up in that classification as well. On to the second tour here. Some hills in the middle, but nothing too spectacular here for our riders. 200 kilometers of fun. Let's see how we'll do here in this race.
Greetings to all. Today's terrain is fairly level, so it's ideal ground for those who are good on the flat. We should have sun along the whole length of the
Fitzke
route.
in that lovely, lovely leader jersey. Also this tour, fantastic jerseys to be had here. So really, really nice actually in this tour. Big fan of those jerseys. Big fan of the color spectrum, to be fair. Sending out Joseph Turnbull here for the first section of this race. He's obviously not a mountain rider, but, you know, getting some bonus seconds and getting some bonus points, why not? Sending out Heo as well to try and get him in that breakaway position, but no one else is interested in following us. So in the end, I'm sending out Joseph Turnbull once again. He is leading the pack, 30 seconds on the peloton. Getting across the line here as first, getting some additional bonus seconds. I don't sprint successfully with any of the other riders, which means none of my other riders get any bonus seconds. Currently, Joseph is 50 seconds off the lead, so any bonus seconds might move him up a couple of spaces. Again, the breakaway is not really excited here in this second stage of the tour. You see another group is already sprinting here, and I'm trying to sprint here early with Fietske to try and get them across the line. One rider remains here up front, but Fietske getting across the line here as second, Christoph KoRail as third. So great job here by your team, splitting at least some of the bonus seconds in this second in-between sprinting point. Always great to split those bonus seconds, making sure that we have a better classification here towards the end. On towards the first mountain point, obviously 3 mountain points in this stage, so, you know, a lot of chances to get that mountain jersey. Sending out Paul Fietske here, who's also a pretty good mountain rider, as you can see, easily gets over this mountain point line here. No issues for him at all, and he immediately is around 50 seconds away here in the breakaway without exerting too much energy here. So a lot of this energy he can kind of retain and get back here in this breakaway, and that means that at least we have the mountain jersey as well for now in this stage. On to the second mountain point. Paul Fietske actually managed to stay away here for a while. The peloton not very interested in catching him, probably wanted him to get exhausted here more towards the end, and that means that he gets across the line here as well. Another couple of bonus points here in the climbers classification. 6 points now, 4-point lead on number 2. Still ahead of the peloton here towards this final sprint point, in-between sprint point, and he will very happily take these in-between bonus seconds once again. 5 additional bonus seconds here for Paul Fietske, and with 50 kilometers to go and not a very big lead here towards the finish line, I decide to just sit back, wait, and let's see what we will do here in this last 10 kilometers. Once again, getting some bonus or getting some mountain points here with our team. I really tried to push hard in this mountain section to try and break away, or try to break apart the peloton here. And try to make sure that the sprinters... Exactly, the stage will end up in a mass sprint, so I'm hoping to exhaust most of the sprinters up the hill here in this stage. I don't know if it was successful or not. Savakovsky, sadly, with a terrible statistics here with a -3, so the lead out will be done by Joseph. 5 kilometers left to go. Energy gels have been used on our riders, so I'm preparing here for this final sprint, getting our team ready. It is slightly downhill, so that definitely helps the energy out quite well. Positioning will be important. I need to stay here in front of this peloton. Other sprinters already starting to sprint here. Savakovsky with a very early sprint here by him. Heo as well. KoRail here leading out now for Paul Fietske. Paul Fietske already using most of his energy. Can he keep up this energy towards the end? No, he cannot. Most of his energy already used here before the 1 kilometer mark. And Paul Fietske, sadly, a poor sprint for him here in this second stage. Getting across the line here as 6th here in the end of the second stage. He did get some bonus seconds in this stage, so I'm hoping that this will do well for him in the final classification. As you can see here, a 6th place here for Paul Fietske in this stage. Another top 20 here for Christoph KoRail, so great job by him. Still first in the general classification, actually gaining some seconds advantage over the second place from 7 seconds all the way up to 8 now, so an additional bonus second gained here by Paul Fietske on the number 2. Great job here by him. A lot of our riders also moving up. We did a pretty good job here today in this stage. Top 3 in the mountain classification is also our team. So great job here. Great result here by our team. And let's see if we can keep that up here in this third stage. Again, another slightly hilly stage, but nothing too spectacular. Should be another mass sprint finish.
Hello and welcome. Today's terrain is fairly level, so it's ideal ground for those who are good on the flat. It's a beautiful day today. That should be to the liking of most riders.
It is indeed a beautiful day today. Let's see if we can get into the breakaway once again. Last stage we kind of failed. No one really wanted to get into the breakaway, but somehow Paul Fietske was able to get loose from the front of the peloton and basically be in the breakaway for quite some time. You see me positioning some of her riders up front. I'm waiting for the initial breakaway to happen. I don't want to exhaust my riders too much, especially here in this first section. It is uphill slightly, very, very slightly. So, you know, trying to save some energy here for our riders. In the end, as you can see here, a big sprint here towards this final sprinting stage. A breakaway probably went away, nothing too exciting happening, and we end up here with 15 kilometers to go up until this first or this last breakaway. We do quite well here on the bonus seconds, and immediately the attacks start. You see here the group also split up. Heyo in the second group here behind the peloton, only 50 riders remaining in this peloton as well, 6 kilometers left to go. Savukovsky leading out our sprint train here with his beautiful Finnish leaders jersey, or Finnish national jersey, I should say. Again, hoping for a good result here with our two main sprinters. Christoph KoRail here with incredible results here, or with incredible statistics here in this stage, so hoping that he will do well as well. 3 kilometers to go. I'm kind of running out of energy relatively early once again. I don't want to waste too much energy of Christoph KoRail. He still needs to lead out this sprint. Still 2 kilometers to go, and suddenly it is an uphill sprint, and this is something I didn't notice. However, Paul Fietske is one of the top mountain riders here in this tour, one of the top mountain riders in our team. He has enough energy left over. Does he get past any of the other riders? No, he does not. A solid victory here for Paul Fietske in this uphill finish. I thought it was a downhill finish, to be honest, looking at the stage profile. But in the end, it turned out to be an uphill finish here, and an uphill finish that Paul Fietske manages to win. An 18-second gap here towards the second group as well, so that should do well for our general classification statistics. The bonus seconds here at the line as well, benefiting Paul Fietske here in this race. Does this solidify his lead position even more? We will have to see in the results of the general classification. Here now on the stage results, however, a 10th place once again for Christoph KoRail, another top 20 position, a first place here for Paul Fietske, so incredible by him. 18-second lead now on the number 2, so gaining 10 additional bonus seconds on the number 2. Incredible job. The rest of our team also moving up a lot of positions here. You see 6, 7 positions here and there by our team. Incredible job. A lot of the other riders have lost some time at least. 50th place for Savukovsky, and for most of our team, to be honest. Heyu Sungsu a little bit lower, as you can see now in the general classification, as he was in that second to third group in the end. That means that Christoph KoRail now on the edge of a 10th place in the general classification as well. So him moving up to 11th position here, 48 seconds now off the lead. First in the points classification, of course, first in the mounts classification, first in the young riders classification, which is pretty damn good for us in this moment. Still one stage to go. Third in the general, or in the team classification somehow. Still one stage left to go. 18-second lead on the number 2, and a very hilly stage classified as flat somehow. So we'll see how we'll do here, but I have full confidence in Paul Fietske.
Greetings to all. The profile of this race is quite flat. Expect a fast pace from the peloton. Riding in such heat is not easy. Many riders must have only one thing on their mind: getting this over with.
And we are not incredibly well equipped here with this mountainous area. You see a breakaway forming in this last stage by 2 of the riders, probably seeing the more mountainous profile and saying, hey, you know, if we can get away and can do well, maybe there is a chance that we can stay away for the remainder of this stage. But I'm sending out Paul Fietske, and maybe that will kill the entire breakaway, the leader of the general classification. Obviously the peloton will chase after them, right? This breakaway will definitely not get away. Yet here we are, the breakaway getting further and further away from the peloton. And now this is a successful breakaway with already 1 minute on the clock. Paul Fietske in the front group, leader of the general classification, ready to get some additional bonus points. I'm pretty sure he got a top 3 position here, as it states, which increases his point lead as he already had, and getting some additional bonus points and bonus seconds here in this first in-between sprint point. So great job here by Paul Fietske. Again, we want to extend this lead all the way towards the end. The more points or the more seconds, the better. So here now towards this final section, the points and breakaway didn't really matter too much, but you see most of our team exhausted from all the hard work that they have done. Getting some additional bonus mountain points here is Fietske, up to 10 now. I think what happened here in this race is that a breakaway was away for quite a while. I left Paul Fietske to go back to not exhaust him too much. Almost lost the lead here of the mountain classification, but should have just conquered it back in this final mountain point section. But that means that we had to chase quite heavily with all of our riders to get back the front group, and that caused most of our riders to fall back in this stage, which means that we have just 2 riders once again left over at the end of this very difficult stage here, with KoRail Christoph and Paul Fietske, hoping that one of them can deliver a victory or a good result here in this final stage. 3 kilometers left to go. KoRail Christoph still has so much energy. He is performing very well. Great statistics once again for him. 2 kilometers to go, starting again that lead out sprint, trying to get Paul Fietske all the way towards the front. It is a weird profile, up and down and up and down. Paul Fietske here now in this final sprint, passing the other riders. Can he get past here towards the end? No, Paul Fietske once again proving his strength in this race with a slight uphill finish, showing that he is a true puncher, doing really well here in this final stage of the Tour of Zeklerland. Fantastic job here by Paul Fietske, dominating these 4 stages, dominating this tour. An incredible job here by our German rider. Nothing else to add, to be honest. An incredible result here by Paul Fietske. Scoring plenty of points here, scoring incredible results, getting blocked by the tree once again. I feel like in this season of Pro Cycling Manager, of this KoRail playthrough, we are having a lot of problems with trees blocking us. Either way, look at this beautiful jersey here once again in the Tour of Zeklerland. An incredible color scheme here, which again is blocked by the tree. So thank you very much, tree, for preventing us from observing this fantastic view of this beautiful jersey. Best climber classification also for Paul Fietske, making sure that he got it back there at the end. Another beautiful jersey in that white color scheme here for Paul Fietske, something that he will be very happy with, I'm sure. Almost losing out towards the Hungarian rider here in this climber classification, so very happy that he got that in the end. Points classification also for Paul Fietske, gaining some of the in-between sprint points as well as getting a couple of victories here in this tour, so definitely his basically jersey to lose with his performance of today and the stages before this. Incredible job here by Paul Fietske. Also, the Young Riders classification, of course, as he just won the general classification of this tour. The Young Riders jersey obviously cannot be missed by him, as he's only, I think, 20 years old. So lots of potential here for this rider. If you are playing Pro Cycling Manager 24, keep a lookout for Paul Fietske, one of the talented riders here in this game. We lost out here on the team classification because a lot of our riders dropping off here towards the back or towards the end of this race. This last stage proving a bit too difficult for some of our riders. Christoph KoRail here at the end finishing in an 11th place, and there you see our riders dropping off all the way towards the back. We had to chase after the breakaway. We wanted to get that victory. We did not want them to secure a victory. They rode their heart out, but our team was just too strong. Got them back, and in the end, Paul Fietske sprinted towards a final victory here in the Tour of Zeklerland. 3 victories, I think, in this tour. Obviously, a victory in the general classification, and just an overall amazing result. We're not done yet in Romania, however. We have the Kupa Max Ausnit next. A slightly hilly stage, but nothing too spectacular, with a downhill/flat finish. KoRail Christoph in this race as well. Let's see how we will do here with a top three favorite position here in this race.
The profile of this race is quite flat. Expect a fast pace from the peloton.
Here we are at the start of the race. Most of our team is quite centered in the middle of this peloton, so not super great here for our team. We cannot really break out of this to get into any breakaway, but once again, these day stages will have a very low chance of actually getting towards the end. Sometimes the peloton really doesn't ride and we have to push on to try and capture the breakaway, but this is not one of those stages. And as you can see here, thank you, thank you, commentator, for your truth on this stage, finishing in a flat or in a mass sprint. 6 kilometers left to go. I have 2 riders remaining. That's just how tough this race was. You see 41 riders remaining in the peloton. We have been doing well in these last stages of the Tour of Zeklerland with just 2 riders. Can we do the same here in the Kupa Max Ausnit? We pushed really hard on the hills before this. That's why our riders are so exhausted. We tried to break apart most of this peloton, most of these sprinters. We wanted to be first also in this downhill area to try and get this good positioning going. 1 kilometer to go. This should be a slam dunk here for KoRail Crystal, sprinting from the wheel from Carpentier. A perfect lead out here by Carpentier. Can KoRail Crystal finish it here towards the end? No, he cannot. Losing out here towards this rider, towards this Slovenian rider, question mark, or is it Slovak? I'm not entirely sure. It depends on the logo there. My apologies. But either way, KoRail Crystal losing out here towards a different rider. Second place here towards the end, was in the lead for so long. Did incredibly well here with Florian Carpentier. Honestly, a perfect lead out for him, and still not getting a victory here is KoRail Crystal. A disappointing result here for him, as I expected him to win with that perfect lead out. But in the end, second place. Still satisfied, could have done better in my opinion. 16th place here for Florian Carpentier with his lead out. The rest of our team finishing below. So not the best result, but hey, some points and some money. We'll take it. On to the Classique of Mauritius, a very hilly stage where we are known to not do well. Let's see if we can change that this time.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. It's an undulating route, so it will be a tactical race. It is under a bright sun that today's race will be run.
As the commentator says, it is an undulating route, and we're here again with a full Korean team. Most of these are sprinters, but you see here I have Yusarang, our hill specialist from last season, and our new assist rider, Kim Sung-bom, who has been on a slightly demotivated streak for himself. He has been slightly demotivated, less happy with how he's performing. I think he's performing well, but he has the need for victories and the need for wanting a good result. So I'm betting on him in this stage here, in this very difficult hilly stage, where there's a lot of ups and downs, hoping that he will perform well here. With his skills and with his expertise. Not one of the top hill specialists here in this race, because I wanted Kim Sung-bom to really do well here and really shine towards and prove that he can do it himself. 8 kilometers left to go. You see me here in this front group trying to control it as well as possible, but a group does sprint away, and this is very dangerous because if a group sprints away, we might lose them forever, and they might finish in a top 5 position without Kim Sung-bom attached already over a 10-second gap. I'm trying to sprint towards them, trying to get towards their wheel. You see it closing and then opening up once again. What a difficult situation here for Kim Sung-bom, exerting so much energy to try and get to this group. In the end, he does get there, and that means that I, with 4 kilometers left to go, need to see if I can move all the way to the front here, try to get into as good of a position as possible. Positioning will be key here in this stage. With all these ups and downs, there will be one final section going up. Can I stay attached here in this race? I move all the way up the front here with 2 kilometers to go, but it costs so much energy here for Kim Sung-bom. A little bit of a downhill section for him to regain some energy, and then the final uphill section here for him there towards the end. That means that he can sprint here for a final toward a top 10 position or for a top 5 position, and he does not get the podium position that he deserves. He does not get the win that he deserves. Does he get a 5th place here in the end? Yes, he does. A 5th place here for Kim Sung-bom towards the end. A fantastic job here by him. Owen Gelijn, the Dutch rider, winning here in the Classique of Mauritius. The rest of our team following slightly behind, but important here for Kim Sung-bom is a 5th place. That means additional bonus points for him. Something to be very proud of. At least for him, he has been wanting a good result. He has been craving the good result. No victory for him, as I hope for him, but a solid 5th place here for Kim Sung-bom. An amazing job by him. Now let's quickly move on to the last multiple day stage race of this episode. You already saw there quickly, we are in the top 2 favorites of this stage race. And this is a weird one, as it's 130 kilometers and it just basically goes up. Additionally, a lot of Asian teams here and then a Latvian team as well. So, should prove an interesting race for us. Let's see how we'll do.
Hello to one and all. It's going to be a monotonous day when it comes to the terrain, but at least the teams with sprinters won't be complaining. And, of course, those opportunists with a bit of daring won't make their life easy.
And we will definitely be those opportunists with a bit of daring. You see me reacting here a little bit late, a group of riders already cycling away, and I definitely want Heo to be part of this breakaway to try and get some bonus seconds here, and try to get some bonus points as well. Mostly the bonus seconds, points I don't really care too much about. The bonus seconds could be important here for the general classification, so let's try and be part of this breakaway while we protect the rest of our riders. The main sprinters here are not too great in the statistics department today. Christoph Král here with a +1 at least, but our other two main sprinters here in Asian Ferretti and Severy Savakovsky have a -3, so it's really not too great here for us in this first stage of the Trans-Himalayan race. 8 kilometers. Thank you once again, commentator. He keeps trying to basically prevent me from what I'm trying to say. But yes, 7 kilometers left to go. Definitely a mass sprint coming up. You see me positioning here the riders to try and deliver a good lead out for the remaining riders of our team. Severy Savakovsky sadly with such bad statistics today. Still pretty strong though in general in those sprint statistics. I'm hoping that he will perform and bring our team quite well towards this finish line. 3 kilometers remaining. Again, it is slightly uphill this entire race, so it is exhausting to get up there, but we do have some good riders in this uphill section. Now, I thought this would be uphill, but here we go. Slight downhill section as well, which catches me off guard. A lot of these riders already sprinting. I slightly underestimated the amount of sprint that I should have done here. Can our riders get through the mass riders in front of us? No, we cannot. Another, not even a podium here for Christoph Král. I expected a podium here for Král Christoph, but a 4th place here for Král Christoph in the end. Kim Hyun-sok in a 6th position and Sung-Soo Heo in a top 20 in this stage. What does that mean for general classification? You see here a 6th position currently for Severy Savakovsky. Probably getting some of these bonus seconds here towards, or getting some bonus seconds in the second in between sprint point. Christoph Král, sadly no bonus seconds for him, therefore ending up in a 7th place. But that does mean that we have 4 riders currently in a top 20 position. Only 10 seconds basically difference between us and the number 1. So plenty of chances here in 2 more stages left to go. This was just a very weird one that just consistently went up and then had a little dip towards the end and then another uphill towards the end. So no idea how that went. Again, you see me checking here, wondering why Severy Savakovsky is above Král Christoph. I did not expect it, but he probably got some bonus seconds in one of these in-between sprint points that I totally forgot about. On towards the second stage here, another flat stage, 1 in-between sprint point, and a much shorter stage here today.
Welcome. Today's terrain is fairly level, so it's ideal ground for those who are good on the flat. The weather conditions are excellent.
The weather conditions are excellent, but the statistics of our team are not. Christoph Král, the only one with a positive statistic today. That means I don't want to exert our team too much. I just want to protect Christoph Král here in this race. Severy Savakovsky is the rider that is better positioned, of course, but his statistics are terrible, just as the previous race. Asian Ferretti as well, Heo as well. This does not look good here for our team. Let's see what we can do here in this last section of the race. Obviously, this will end up in a mass sprint. There we go. Finally was quicker than the commentator for once. So yeah, just need to lead out our riders quite well. Severy Savakovsky still with incredible sprinting statistics, so I'm hoping that he will lead out Christoph Král here towards the end, and we just need to be consistent here with our lead out. A very flat section here towards the final stage, or towards the final part of this stage. Heo now leading out with a -3 statistics. Oh man, really, it is not our stage here, but I'm hoping to change that. You see some riders actually breaking off the back here of this peloton. Now 94 riders left, but 2 groups of 10 plus riders that have already broken off. A little bit less than 2 kilometers to go. Big sprint here by Severy Savakovsky. Král Christoph jumping from his wheel. Can he pass Savakovsky here in this final corner? No, yes, no, no. Will Severy Savakovsky actually win this? Yes, yes, he will here. Severy Savakovsky, one of the direct competitors of Christoph Král, winning the second stage of the Trans-Himalaya race. Christoph Král, second here in this second stage as well. That means at least we get a bunch of bonus seconds here for our riders, which should move them up somewhere to a podium position in the general classification. Severy Savakovsky, a first place here in the Trans-Himalaya race. Great job here by him. An expected victory as he was the lead out man, but his positioning towards that final corner was the best. Christoph Kral unable to pass him there but in that corner towards the finish line, unable to pass him on that last final straight section, which means that he ended up in a second place and therefore losing out to Severy Savakovsky. In the general classification, you see Severy Savakovsky moving up all the way to first. Incredible job here by Severy Savakovsky. Kral Christoph now in third as well. Some of our riders moving up as well. So Kim Hyun-suk sadly losing a bunch of positions. Exhausted from his race, exhausted from his work for the team, moving down in the general classification, but that is okay. In the end, we scored really well here with Severy Savakovsky and Christoph Kral, something to be very proud of here in this multi-day stage race, beating some of the other riders like Rory Townsend, which has always been a thorn in our side this season. Damn Rory Townsend, damn you! First in the points classification is Christoph Kral, however, he has better positioning, had a fourth place in the previous one and a second place now in the point classification. Probably got some bonus seconds at some point as well, or bonus points. I'm not completely sure how he is ahead of one of our riders, but that doesn't matter. We have a first place in this race, and that's what we need to try and defend.
Hello to one and all. It's going to be a monotonous day when it comes to the terrain. But at least the teams with sprinters won't be complaining. And, of course, those opportunists with a bit of daring won't make their life easy.
Alright, and welcome in the last stage here of the Trans-Himalayan race. The weather is cold, it is frigid, it is snowing, and you know what that means? Severy Savakovsky with a +1 statistic for the first time in this race. Great for him to finally be performing better at these cold temperatures. It must be the Finnish blood, right, that he has in his optimal climate right now, doing really well here. Christoph Kral not doing as well here with a -3, so the cold temperatures affecting him in a negative sense this time. Hong in the breakaway, sprinting towards first place in this in-between sprint point. So that means 3 bonus seconds for him. He is 12 seconds off the number 1 of Severy Savakovsky in 20th position. So those bonus seconds will be important, but his energy is already so low. He needs also to perform a bit better. This season has not been his season so far. 0 points on the board for him, or almost 0 points on the board for him. So it has not been going well, and it is a question, should we sign him or not for next season? We'll have to see here in the coming races if he can perform anything. He has been a solid helper here for our guys, and he has been doing well to support our team, but is that enough? I am unsure. Here now in these last kilometers of this race, there is a guy actually ahead, 2 minutes ahead, so he will definitely win in this stage. 2 kilometers to go for him. You see me sprinting, trying to give it all. I need to be up towards the front of this race. I need to minimize this gap. I don't want to lose out towards this rider that is towards the front. 1 kilometer to go, still 1.5 minutes left. I need to reduce that gap as much as possible, so we are sprinting early. 1 kilometer remaining. Kral Christoph now leading off the wheel of Ferity Asian. Severy Savakovsky behind him. Will it be a 1-2 again for our team, or a 2-3 in this case? Yes, it will. A 2 and 3 for our team. The Chinese rider here winning the last stage of the Trans-Himalayan Tour. Congratulations to him. An incredible breakaway here, staying away all the way towards the end, winning with over a minute to go. But in the end, Severy Savakovsky winning the general classification here in this race. A second and third place for our team. Kral Christoph moving up to second as well. So that's second place, moving Kral Christoph past Rory Townsend. An incredible job here by our team. In the points classification, you see here Kral Christoph also in the first place. So great job here by Kral to conquer that amazing green jersey in this tour. Again, these Chinese races with 2 or 3 stages are weird. You don't see that a lot, to have a multi-day stage race with 2 or 3 stages, but China apparently does so. Young Riders classification won by Severy Savakovsky. You see there in 5th position, Hong Ji-won. In the end, 13 seconds off the lead of Severy Savakovsky, so losing a additional second towards the leader, but only because of those bonus seconds that he's gotten. So an incredible job here by Hong Ji-won. Curious what that will do also for his general classification. We can check it out here now in the results of the stage. Second and third place for Krzysztof Król and Severy Sawakovsky. A top 10 for Asian Ferretti as well. Checking out this Chinese rider here, as he did an incredible job here in this final stage, beating out the rest of the peloton, beating out some of these top riders here, some of these top sprinters that I'm sure wanted to win this final stage here of this race. Blake Quick as well here in a 9th position, Rory Townsend as well. Two of our main competitors, no contract for next year. Might be an interesting signee for our team, but I don't know if we really want to go for him. In the end, general classification, Severy Sawakovsky, the winner of the Trans-Himalayan race, Krzysztof Król in a 2nd position, and Hong Ji-won moving all the way up to that top 10 position. Kim Hyun-suk also moving up to, a 12th position here. So an incredible job here by our Korean riders, really moving up a bunch of positions here. Something to be proud of. Asian Ferretti as well moving up. Sung Soo Heo sadly moving down a couple of positions. But in the end, we won this tour. We won the points jersey, we won the Young Riders jersey, and we are nowhere to be seen in team classification. So that is what it is. A great episode here for us, a great episode for the points, a great episode for the victories. Fietskepal still in the lead of the victories. The rest of our team slowly but surely gaining position, gaining additional victories, gaining additional points. And points are what matters. Points and money, obviously, but points are what matters for this classification. And what do we see in this classification? It's that Severy Sawakovsky has once again passed Krzysztof Król. He is still in the lead of the points classification of our team, so an incredible job here by Krzysztof Król. Hong Ji-won also now finally moving up a couple of spots, or getting some points here as well. You see here at the bottom, it is Kim Sung-bom and Hong Ji-won moving up here from that 0 or almost 0 point scoring position. Finally getting some additional points, moving into where Yon is now as well, getting closer to him. Still far off most of our other riders, but really getting up there in the points classification. Bo Fietske again scoring plenty of points for himself as well. So great job by him. That's it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's a bit of a shorter episode, but I hope it still was good. I wish all of you a very, very Merry Christmas and, of course, a Happy New Year. Hopefully you get all the best in the new year. And with this episode ended, we only have around 2, maybe 3 at most episodes to go for the final of our season. So that is coming up very quickly as well. Next episode, we'll have some fun races, also with the Tour of Britain, which is always exciting. But that's it for now. Again, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and hope to see you guys in 2026 as well, with even more Pro Cycling Manager content and other fun stuff. So until then, goodbye.